All right, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Saturday morning. I don't have no labor today. I'm not doing anything. That requires labor. Plus, like I said yesterday, I'm trying to keep some of that down, keep that labor cost down. A couple things in the video that I kind of wanted to clarify. About yesterday. Though the guys have been doing a lot better, it's so late in the season now that if they haven't done the right things with their money and gotten things in order, going into the off season, then they're probably going to start having money problems, no doubt. Yesterday I was talking about, how having all this labor out here, when it's needed, and then when it's not needed, it's not needed, But if I live like some of the guys that have worked for me, their situation, especially Bo's situation hasn't changed in 10 years. See, 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, he was still doing exactly what he's doing, what y'all see him doing now. I haven't known Zach in 10 or 11 years, but Zach's situation hasn't changed much at all either. As far as, finances and a place to stay and, all these things, See, if I was like that, then I wouldn't, then I would still be, with a push mower, from 2010, you have to, when you work, just in general, I'm not talking about just in lawn care work or landscape work. I'm talking about across the board, just in general, just, life, It'd be hard for me to work somewhere for 2, 3, 4, 5 years and look back on that and say, man, I made all this money, but I didn't do no damn thing with it. Or, when I did make good money, I blew it, and I still am in the same situation. See, that's the difference between me and the guys that work for me. I'm not going to let these guys' lifestyle and the way they want to live, which is cool, live how you want to live. I'm not going to let it, run over into how I live. I'm just not. So, that's why I don't feel bad or any certain type of way when these guys, when Bo don't have a place to stay at night or he ain't got no money or nothing. Because if I did the same thing with my money that Bo does, then I wouldn't have nothing either. And, you can't get, too deeply caught up in that. And it might sound cold-blooded, but, it's not. It's survival. And it's just, being smart with your money. I can't be smart with their money. I can tell these guys all day long, and believe me, I do. Tell these guys all day long, hey, y'all need to get you a place to stay. You need to, and if they would just listen to half of the stuff that I preach to them, they would be so much better off. See, right now, we're going into the off season, and these guys, they don't have anything more than what they had in March, April. Well, why is that? Because they take their money and they don't do what they're supposed to do with it. They buy, $10 bottles of mouthwash, and they buy things that, vices, and, the way Bo is, if he can't smoke it, eat it, or drink it, Bo don't want to pay for it. And so that's Bo's problem. And Zach's made a lot of money this summer too. I got the exact numbers, and I'm not gonna put them out there. But he's made a pretty good bit of money too, and he's worse off now than what he was in the beginning. You know, I mean, people make a lot less money than these two, and have a lot more stuff, a lot more. You know, but to hear them say it, they're always broke and having money problems. You know, see, I don't get too caught up in their money problems, because their money problems is their money problems. If a lot of times why people have money problems is because they're not smart with the money they do have, and then when the opportunities come about that they don't that to make more money, they ain't available, or that kind of thing. You know, so if you making $500 a week and you ain't got no bills and you got money problems, well, I bought my house on less than $500 a week. That's a fact. I remember I was working for an engineer over in Palmetto, and I will bring home right around $890 a month. I mean, every 2 weeks. I bring home $890 every 2 weeks. Yeah. And I bought my house on that. You know. Now I know things are a little bit more expensive now, but these guys ain't even got a place to stay. I mean, ain't even got a place to lay their head at night that they're paying for. You know, they're paying for it in all these other type of ways. They're blowing their money on this, and you know, the way Bo is, he'll buy somebody a 6, he'll buy a 12-pack and hang out with somebody, and to Bo, he paid rent. You know, but as soon as that 12-pack gone, you got to go. You see, that's just, you know, just some things that I'm seeing out here, you know, and on some of the problem that I've had with some of the labor issues. And see, all of this is, a lot of you guys will say, well, Ray, that really ain't none of your business what they do with their money. You're right. It's not none of my business what they do with their money. But see, that directly reflects on how much work they get, because it goes like this. Everything has something to do with something to do with something to do with something to do with else. If you ain't got a place to stay, it's costing you more to live. It's costing you more to live, and you're not going to make as much money because you're not resting like you should. You're not on your A game on the reg, and you're not taking care of your business, you know. But you're making the money of somebody that does take care of their business. But you're not taking care of your business. You are doing whatever you do with your money. It costs a lot to be homeless, you know. And see, these guys, they work hard, but they don't channel their money where they should, you know. When you're staying somewhere, you and whoever's letting you stay there, y'all need to come up with a number. Damn, I'll pay you when I can, or I'll get you a few dollars here and a few dollars there, or I'll buy a 12-pack on Friday. See, none of that works. And I've always been like this, I need to know a dollar amount on what it's going to cost me to stay here. Period. A dollar amount. And then if I want to try to wheel and deal from that point on, then I can. But I need to know what it's going to, is it going to cost me $100 a week? Is it going to cost me $300 a week? What's it going to cost me? And then every week when I get my little check, bam, 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 bam. Here's your rent money taken care of. Now I know that no matter what I do with the rest of my check, that I got a place to lay my head at night, and I can get some proper rest, so I can go to work with Ray the next day, and I can do a good job out there, and then Ray will pay more money because we're able to get more work done, and I've had enough sleep for my brain and my body. See, these guys don't do any of that. They're on the seat of their pants every day. And that, you know, if you were 20 years old, 19 years old, 22 years old, that, you know, that's more doable and more, I don't know, more acceptable. But see, when you are 30 and Bo at 35 and Bo being 46, when you're Bo, you get too old for that crap, dude. You know? Way too old for that. So, you know. Oh, shit. All right. So, you know, that's where I'm coming from when I come at these guys, you know, about their money and why I don't, you know, while their money issues does not affect their pay. You're going to make this amount of money, and if you've gotten your money and you've created issues with your money, a lot of times, they create their own issues because they got more money. You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. They spend money on things that, you know, that the average Joe would never, you know, don't even really even think about, you know. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me being 52 years old, and it doesn't have to, you know, but if they would just get a place to stay and be willing to commit to some rent, commit to a number, not to, well, you know, I'll give them a little bit of money here and there. No. Commit to a number, then what ends up happening is then they're able to get better rest. And when you get better rest out here, you make more money out here because you can do more work. And your brain is working like it should instead of, you know, that's just, you know, my take on that. And when I tell Zach and Bo, you know, things about money, they, you know, yeah, but they don't do anything that I suggest. And it's not like I'm suggesting things that are, you know, taboo, or that I'm suggesting things that, you know, that I don't live by myself. You know, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, man. All you got to do is just look. You can look at my business in 2008 and 9 when I started, and you can look at the business now. If I did the things with my money that Bo did with his money, because Bo's been working out here on and off the whole time, you know, I would be where Bo is. I would never have gotten the first riding mower, the first Z-turn mower, the first, you know, nothing. So, you know, I get frustrated with these guys about how they spend their money. And though it ain't my place, it kind of is when it starts affecting their performance out here, because they're not taking care of nothing. And they're also putting all this stuff in their body that, you know, everybody has a vice, you know. I quit all my hardcore vices when I was about 32, you know. That was it. I was done, man. I couldn't keep living like I was living, and I wanted something different. And I knew that I wasn't getting any younger. And see, these guys, they you know, they on a whole nother level of that, you know. But, you know, trying to school these guys into the money, they look at me like I'm a fool, you know, when the proof's in the pudding, man. You know, and my business is going to get better and better unless something happens to me, you know. But then I will figure something else out, because I have trained my brain to hustle. I have trained my brain to be more today than what it was yesterday. And though, you know, these guys have gotten, you know, Zach's gotten a lot better here, you know, on expectations and doing the work out here. You know, he's won, you know, I mean, he's still not very reliable, you know, and I ain't saying that in a derogatory term. I'm just meaning he hasn't proven that he's reliable, you know, day in, day out. I mean, how many times a week do these guys come to work all week? 5 days. They don't. And see, where I'm coming from now at this point is I used to try to generate work, and then hope like hell I got help. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not generating a bunch of work and because I don't have to. You know, I'm not generating a bunch of work because of, you know, to my goal, put it like this, y'all. My goal used to be to try to keep a guy on during the winter, okay? But if the guy demonstrated during the summer, you know, some of the things that these guys have demonstrated to me during the summer, you know, they don't know how to do, they don't know how to do anything but cut the grass, you know, and they be slipping on that. So when it comes to, you know, running the Bobcat and things like that, I would love to find somebody that I felt good about running the Bobcat, but I don't see it. I don't know nobody, you know. So, you know, these guys have a hard enough time just starting the lawnmowers and stuff, you know, and identifying issues that come up in the lawn care game. When you step off into this Bobcat world and and things, you step into a whole nother league of cost and dangers. You get really hurt or killed out here with fooling with this Bobcat if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's just true, you know. And these guys are not ready for that. I mean, they're not, you know. And to hear them say they're ready to take on the world, but they're really not. I mean, I'm a good gauge. I have a great gauge for that, you know. So now that we're running into the off season, I'm not trying to create a whole heap of work, y'all. I used to try. And a lot of guys would come in the comments and say, well, man, how are they supposed to live on that? Dude, they're unreliable, man. I can't be worried about all that, you know. If they had proven and showed during this summer that they were reliable and teachable, then we would be in a much better spot. The business would be in a much better spot to do work. And me, I am the business. And if I don't want to take on any other kind of work right now, because I don't know that I can do it and do the lawns. See, if I had somebody that was solid out here, that was learning out here, that was really rested at night, took care of themselves, you know, didn't have all these off the field issues, could keep a phone and you know, didn't, you know, oversleep and was really gung-ho out here, dude, I can make a whole lot more money and so could they, but I don't have that person. I ain't never had that person, you know. The closest thing I've had to that is Drew, and Drew was really good at a lot of things, but Drew had a lot to learn too, you know. And a lot of it could be my teaching method, you know. Well, when I see that you a knucklehead in the off time, then I really lose interest, because I know that it's just a matter of time before, you know, something happens to you out there, you know, get arrested or wreck your vehicle or something because you're running around at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when you should be resting and get ready to come to work in the heat the next day, and you're not. And if you're doing that, then I can see that you're struggling to make it through the day out here, you know. And the biggest thing that I see, and the biggest red flag, is the money. How do you handle your money? Bo's broke every morning, and Zach ain't much further behind him. Zach's a little bit better with money than Bo, but if the right circumstance came along, Zach could be broke every day too. But Zach surprises me sometimes. He does surprise me sometimes when he's got money. You know, but Drew is the only one that's been out here in the last 2 years that don't need their money every day, or some of their money every day. See, these guys, they want to get paid every day. And when I see that they coming into work every day and they ain't got $1 in their pocket, needing money when they, you know, got paid, you know, on Friday, you know, $400 or $500, $600. I mean, if you work Saturday, probably around $600. These guys average, man, you know, give or take around $100 a day, $110 a day, something like that, you know. Of course, when you don't come to work, you don't get nothing. So, and then when you get $20 or $30 of your money every day, by the time you roll around to Friday, your $500 check, $600 check, it's, you know, $400, $350. And then, you know, you don't have enough money to really pull the trigger on, and then you can't hold money, you can't save money, you know. The only way Bo saves money is if I hold it for him. But that's such a nuisance to me, because he'll get out there and he'll be calling me at 10 o'clock at night saying, hey man, can I have my $50, man? You know, that he let me hold for him. So anyway, I gotta get some, all right, y'all. So something got hung up in the track right here. Y'all see all that dirt I had to get out? I mean, it ain't all gravy out here with a Bobcat, man. Because you got a Bobcat don't mean that you damn balling, for sure. Okay, we're gonna go down here to the dam. We're gonna check out the dam and see if there's something that I can hit with the power rake. I'm gonna put the drone in the air for a minute. Probably not for very long, because I don't want nothing to happen to the drone. It looks like I got everything that I could get on that. I hope maybe the rest of that right there will fall out. I don't know. We'll just have to see, y'all. All right, y'all. Pipe coming out from under the road right there, and see that there's a big hump. So I'm gonna use this right here to go back and forth and kind of just create a swell, berm, swell, whatever you want to call it, and then let it run into this natural area, and then let it run to where the water is. But I'm gonna fix that. That's got to be fixed. So let me get over here and make my swell where just a little indention, and it's good to do it with this, man, because this thing, you know, it's not hardcore, it's subtle, you know. So yeah. But y'all see, man, look at that, dude. I mean, this thing has been nice, man. I just don't know if it's worth me buying one, you know. I mean, if I could sell, so I sold the 4-wheeler, got $1,000 for it. I sold that van, got $3,000 for it.
I wouldn't mind selling the log splitter that I got. Probably sell it. I may put it online and sell it, because I really don't need a log splitter. I don't. And they don't cost that much money. They're only like, $1,500, give or take. If I get it for 12, if I sell it for, 1,000, so that'd be 1,000, four-wheeler 1,000, log splitter 1,000, that's 2,000, 3,000 on the van. That's $5,000 right there, man. And you can get a Harley rake. If I buy one, I'll probably buy a new one, unless there's just a good deal on one. I don't know that I would want one quite. I like the width of this one, but I think I'd want one a little bit narrow. I think this thing right here is, it's like 7 foot. It barely fit on my trailer, man. It's right at 7 foot. I think I'd like to have one, 6 foot for this machine. It'd handle it better. I'm gonna check into it and see what I got, see what I can do. But I don't want that to be, if you're me, man, you want every piece of equipment you can get, right? But man, you gotta look at the practicality. Okay, I'm not trying to do sod jobs, and seed jobs. Though if it came my way, I would. But of course, I'd like to have one of these and not have to pay for it, or pay. I'd basically be getting one. You can't get a good one for less than $8,000, and up. I had to really zero in on one, but the actual Harley rake, the actual one, they're like $10,000, man. It's cool and everything, but for me, I don't know if I do enough work to justify spending $10,000 on an attachment. I'd rather take that money and put it with some more money and buy a skid steer, because this machine right here has 3,800 hours on it, y'all, and it's 16 gallons per minute on the flow, 66 horsepower. I need one bigger with more power. The machine ain't necessarily got to be bigger, but the flow does. Newer machine. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna clean this up right here. I'm gonna get all that crap up and get it pushed out of the way and make a damn trough down through there. I guess I'll put the freaking